September 14th, 2023. The Black Sea, 12 nautical miles southwest of Sevastopol. The radar operator aboard the Russian frigate Admiral Makarov stared at his screen, watching a small contact emerge from the sea clutter. It was 0347 hours. The sea state was rough, force 4, with 2-meter swells rolling beneath a moonless sky. Senior Lieutenant Dmitry Volkov leaned over the console, his breath fogging the dim green glow of the display. Contact bearing 270, range 4,000 meters, the operator reported, his voice tight. Speed, 25 knots, closing. Volkov felt his stomach tighten. 25 knots. Too fast for a fishing boat, too small for a warship. He'd heard the rumors from other ships in the fleet, whispers of unmanned boats packed with explosives, skimming across the waves like ghosts, Ukrainian naval drones. Uncrewed surface vessels, the intelligence briefs called them, USVs. Sound general quarters, Volkov ordered. All hands to battle stations. The alarm shrieked through the corridors of the Makarov. Men stumbled from their bunks, pulling on boots and helmets, racing to their posts. On the bridge, Captain Second Rank Andrei Kozlov gripped the railing, his eyes scanning the darkness beyond the bow. The ship's defensive systems hummed to life, the AK-630 close-in weapon system, a 6-barreled rotary cannon capable of firing 4,000 rounds per minute. The 30mm autocannons mounted on the superstructure, the PKM machine guns manned by sailors in flak vests. Range 3,000 meters, the radar operator called out, still closing. Kozlov raised his binoculars. Nothing, just black water and white foam. The drone was out there, invisible in the darkness, racing toward them at nearly 30 miles per hour. He could feel the deck vibrating beneath his feet as the frigate's engines surged, the helmsman attempting to maneuver the massive warship away from the threat. Engage with AK-630, Kozlov commanded. Fire when ready. The rotary cannon swiveled, its barrels spinning up with a mechanical whine. The targeting radar locked onto the contact, or tried to. The signal kept flickering, disappearing into the radar return from the waves themselves. Sea clutter, the bane of naval warfare. The drone was small, low to the water, its radar cross-section barely larger than a whitecap. The AK-630 opened fire. A stream of tracer rounds arced into the darkness, a glowing red line reaching toward the invisible target. The sound was deafening, a sustained roar like tearing metal. Spent casings clattered onto the deck. The gun fired for 10 seconds, 15, 20. Cease fire, Kozlov ordered. Status. The radar operator shook his head. Contact still closing. Range 2,000 meters. Impossible. The AK-630 had just fired over 1,000 rounds. How could it have missed? Volkov watched the radar screen, his hands trembling. The contact was now 1,500 meters out, weaving left and right in erratic patterns. The targeting computer couldn't maintain a lock. Every time the AK-630's radar painted the target, the drone would jink a sudden course change that sent it skittering across the surface like a stone skipped on water. All gun crews open fire, Kozlov shouted into the intercom. Engage at will. The 30mm autocannons erupted, their muzzle flashes lighting up the deck in strobing bursts. Sailors manning the PKM machine guns squeezed their triggers, sending streams of 7.62mm rounds into the darkness. The Makarov was surrounded by a curtain of fire, thousands of rounds per minute pouring into the sea. Tracer rounds crisscrossed the water, creating a deadly web of light. And still, the drone came on. At 1,000 meters, Volkov finally saw it through his binoculars, a low, dark shape riding the swells, its bow throwing up spray. It looked like a speedboat, maybe 6 meters long, painted matte black, no crew, no lights. Just a machine, guided by GPS and pre-programmed waypoints, carrying hundreds of kilograms of high explosives in its nose. "It's in the blind spot," someone screamed. The drone had closed to 800 meters and was now maneuvering into the zone directly beneath the frigate's main gun arcs. The AK-630 couldn't depress low enough. The autocannons were blocked by the ship's own superstructure. Only the machine guns had a clear line of fire, and their bullets were splashing harmlessly into the water around the target. "Hard to starboard," Kozlov ordered. "Get us turned around." The Makarov began to heel, its massive bulk slowly responding to the rudder, but the drone was faster. It curved with the ship, maintaining its position in the blind spot, circling like a shark. The sailors on deck could see it now, a black wedge cutting through the foam, impossibly agile, impossibly fast. Minutes passed. 5, 10, 15. The drone circled, and the Makarov fired, and nothing connected. Gun barrels glowed red-hot. Ammunition bins ran dry. Sailors reloaded frantically, their hands blistered and bleeding. The AK-630 had fired over 3,000 rounds. The autocannons had exhausted their ready magazines. 20 minutes after first contact, the drone straightened its course. It was 500 meters out now, accelerating. 40 knots, 50, heading straight for the waterline amidships. "Brace for impact," Kozlov's voice cracked over the intercom. The explosion tore through the hull below the waterline, a massive orange fireball that lifted the stern of the frigate 3 meters out of the water. Men were thrown from their feet, alarms shrieked. Water rushed into the engine room. The Admiral Makarov listed hard to port, smoke pouring from the gaping wound in its side. In the Black Sea that night, a $500 million warship, bristling with sensors, weapons, and armor, had been crippled by a remote-controlled boat that cost less than a used car. And across the fleet, Russian sailors realized a terrifying truth. They had no defense against this new threat, none at all.